and usually in late game, it's always it's about even for a Terran to have one less base than a Protoss. So this Wraith may go down, and the Wraith does go down, so that little air unit that iloveoov will not be able to do anything, and it looks like that bunker might go down as well. SCV's going around, Vulture's going around, probably going to try and find any stray expansions that are unprotected, and maybe pick off a few probes. What I've noticed about Nara is he hasn't gotten his second forge yet, and he hasn't been upgrading. This might be very, very bad, because I noticed that the armory for Nara iloveoov was very, very early, and I'm not sure if he got his upgrades quickly, but it was a very early armory, and he probably does have a couple of upgrades. It looks like he has 0-1 upgrades opposed to Nara's 0-0 upgrades, and a couple of Goliaths in each spot where a drop could possibly come. I'm not sure how many Reavers this shuttle has, but that shuttle is going to be able to drop and probably do some harassment. This is a little bit dangerous here for Nara. His choke was not covered, and it was not blocked, and these probes are going to go down. He does not want to lose too many probes. His Dragoons can't maneuver around all these buildings. Lots of probes going down. The more probes he loses, the further he is going to get behind. A really, really nice pylon wall there by Nara, and iloveoov is not going to be able to pick off any more probes, and he's going to have to get out of there. Really nice timing there by Nara. He managed to make a pylon wall, and those vultures will not be able to get in. So I'm not sure what happened with the shuttle up here. It's still waiting for a perfect moment. I think that little attack there by iloveoov really shows the dominance of pro gamers, because he noticed that most of the army of Nara was sitting in the middle of the map, and he quickly maneuvered around that army and went inside the base and managed to pick off 5 or 6 probes, even more. And that's a very, very nice target. Really good harassment. It looks like Nara is gonna Nara does have his other mining base up and running already, and iloveoov is starting to get his other mining base up too. He is going to get another expansion there, and if he can take that main and defend it successfully, it'll be very beneficial for him, because he will be able to take that natural very easily. So Nara cannot really drop, because there's just too many places where he can be spotted. Now Nara, he needs to get Zealot speed upgrade, which I saw he didn't have earlier, and he needs to get some observers out so we can find that expansion over there that Nara has, or that iloveoov has, and it's kind of secret. What I notice right now is, okay, never mind. Nara does have his Zealots out. He still isn't upgrading, I see, and he is getting his Stargate. So we may be going carriers on this map. Going carriers on this map can be pretty effective. iloveoov pretty much going mass tanks. Mass tanks very good against mass Dragoons, but iloveoov does not have enough vultures to cover against Zealots, I would say. He does have a fairly large amount of vultures though, and SCV has finally completed that expansion over there. Second Stargate going up, so we're definitely going to see some carriers over here. Nara really enjoys using carriers, and he always uses them pretty well. I see some of those science vessels there. They're going to be able to detect those observers, but the main thing is they're going to be able to EMP. I'm not sure if he is planning to EMP, however. If iloveoov does get a few EMPs placed at the perfect times, it would be very, very easy to take down the army of Nara. You see here, Nara is getting ready for a flank, and here comes the Zealots. They got lured, and they are going to retreat, taking a pretty nice amount of damage. iloveoov did lure those Zealots, and these SCVs being transferred right now. As you can see, this is the beginning of the slow Terran push, and iloveoov is going to start slowly pushing towards Nara. Nara needs to get another expansion up pretty soon. And the thing is, I think it looks like iloveoov has 0-2 upgrades, and that's really, really going to help him fighting this army of Nara, especially if an EMP goes off. Okay, so never mind. Nara is getting his upgrades now, and he is starting to get his carriers. He's going to have to play it very safe at this point. You see here that iloveoov is beginning his push even more, and the carriers are going to start taking away from the resources that can be used on ground units, such as Zealots and Dragoons. And here comes the Zealots. They're coming in. No tanks over here, and after a brief skirmish, the Protoss retreats, and so does the Terran. You see here that both the players are getting their expansions up, and really those mines does scout that shuttle, and if Nara does see that expansion at the right, it would be very, very easy to pick off a ton of SCVs, and that's something he really wants to do. We see Templars coming up right now. If Nara can use those effectively, it'd be very, very nice, because he'd be able to storm big clumps of tanks. And the shuttle is coming in. Nara does spot this expansion over here, and he is going to decide to attack it. It's really, really not defended here, and Nara does notice it. iloveoov probably does think that this expansion is going to get attacked, but he does move his vultures away. This is going to be very bad. This Reaver is coming in. 2 Reavers coming in. These SCVs are going to get owned right here. Oh my god, both the Scarab shots really did nothing. That can just show you the luck of the Reaver. And you see here that Nara playing this very well, reloading and unloading his Reaver. And this expansion is going to be rendered useless right now. But here comes a ton of vultures. A nice storm goes off there, but it is dodged by iloveoov. You see, iloveoov has a really, really long chain of units here. He just has an amazing macro, and he's able to produce so many units. So it's really up to Nara to micro this really well, and use all of his efforts to get another expansion, which he's doing right now, and use those carriers effectively and use his storms effectively. So this expansion does go down, and here comes the push, the dreaded Terran push over here. And iloveoov is going to make another expansion without Nara knowing it. These High Templar are getting picked off. Lots and lots of Reavers, lots and lots of vultures going down though. 2 defense matrices going on. That's really, really helpful. You see a ton of zealots just sacrifice themselves on 1 tank, and with all that splash damage, those zealots just totally got dominated right there. And you see this Reaver coming in, trying to see if there's any other expansion over there. Goliath's coming up over here. So I think that iloveoov did scout the carrier tech, and right now iloveoov is pretty much ahead. He has this huge army, and you see here that Nara did lose a huge majority of it, because something that he did was Nara just started producing those carriers like crazy, and he didn't have enough units for those dragoons. And it looks like he's going to reveal his carriers right now. I'm not sure if he's going to reveal his carriers. These vultures trying to get up, but there is a pylon wall over there. And Nara just really, really nice with those defensive. iloveoov really, really nice with those defensive matrices. And these Reavers coming in, both of them get hit by mines and only take out 2 SCVs. So that Reaver is going to be able to do some damage. But, oh my god, iloveoov is coming in over here. 2 storms going off. Storm's not doing much damage. He's trying to pick off those Goliaths, but all these Templars are going down. iloveoov is really ahead right now. He has a huge base of army, just a huge macro right there. It looks like Nara is waiting for his 6 carriers, and he is going to expand again, so it doesn't. So losing this expansion doesn't hurt too much, but he is losing all of his gateways, and that's something you have to notice. And these defensive matrix are really, really helping the army for iloveoov. And I think iloveoov is not going to be able to hold this back, because his Goliaths keep getting stormed. There are 4 carriers right now, and they are going to be able to take out those Goliaths, but more Goliaths coming in from the back. They have 3 upgrades. Those weapon upgrades are going to be really, really easy in taking out those carriers. Looks like 1 carrier does go down. There's just a huge amount of units here. iloveoov just has a really, really nice macro. He's just making so many units. There's just too many units here for Nara to succeed at this point. iloveoov just has a really, really good macro. You can see that Nara is going to try and take out these SCVs over here for iloveoov, but iloveoov doesn't really care. He's just going to take out the entire base, and he is just going to send a few Goliaths over here. Actually, he's going to send quite a bit. But these Goliaths, just a few of them can scare off a couple of carriers away, and the carriers are going to have to go away. And you see that the 2 more carriers are produced, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get away. I'm not quite sure, but oh, they do get away, but they're pretty much trapped in there. And I just think that Nara, one of the main things was that he used his units a little bit too carelessly. He attacked those defensive matrix units, and he clumped his units all together, so they were lured and all that stuff. And then the fact was that he used too many resources on these carriers when iloveoov knew about it the whole time and was already making a really, really huge amount of Goliaths. So right now there's only 3 carriers left, and there's just a huge amount of tanks over here, and the pylon wall is just about to go down. These carriers don't even have full interceptors yet, and just too many Goliaths over here. Nara, I don't know, but he is not going to be able to hold this expansion for very long, and lots of pretty nice storms going on, but it doesn't matter how many Goliaths he kills, because at this point, iloveoov has just way too many Goliaths, and way too good of a macro. Lots of SCVs go down there, pretty nice storms over there, but iloveoov doesn't really care anyway, because he's just about to win the game. There's really nothing that can that Nara can do at this point. He tried to show an exciting game with his carriers again, but he's not going to be able to do much, as his entire economy is destroyed, all of his army is destroyed, and it is GG.